What is your name and what job do you do?
Hi everyone, I'm Dr Jessica Boland, or Jessie, and I'm a senior lecturer in functional materials and devices at the University of Manchester. I've been hard of hearing, or deaf with a little d, since birth.
Why did you work in STEM?
So I wanted to work in STEM because I absolutely love problem solving, and that's what a STEM career really is. I don't think I always had a love of science and engineering, but I did enjoy problem solving from a really young age. When I was actually at school, I wanted to be a ballerina. So I was in the English youth ballet and loved singing and dancing. But I also did enjoy maths at school and languages and discovering new things.
What is your favourite thing about your job?
I really enjoy all of my interactions with my undergraduates when I teach a lecture course. They ask the most amazing creative questions and it really keeps me on my toes. I don't always know the answer, and that is really cool to be able to go away and think of something, think of some new ideas and think about how to answer some of those creative questions that the students ask you.
What advantages has a disability given you?
My disability has really helped me with communication. As a hard of hearing or deaf person, communication is really key for me. For me to be able to follow on in conversations or follow on in conferences and really integrate and be included in a meeting, I need conversation to be facilitated really well. So for example, I need to make sure that I can lip read, the lighting is correct, the environment is not too noisy, and also that people are taking it in turns. And all of this is ways of facilitating a good conversation and a good debate.
What was it like at school?
Really have some good memories of school times. It was difficult as well because growing up hard of hearing, I didn't always have hearing aids when I was younger. So primary school, I didn't have hearing aids. So that was challenging. But I had really supportive teachers who made sure that I was sat at the front of lessons, that I got all the information, would come and check if I'd missed anything, would do smaller groups so that I could kind of access the information. And that was really thanks to parents pushing and making sure that teachers were aware and I was getting the support that I needed.
Who inspired you along the way?
That's a great question because I would say that I don't have a particular role model, don't have someone like Mary Curie that I've read and researched about. All of my inspiration along the way has been more local, so people quite close to me and around me. Particularly my PhD supervisor was a great inspiration, and not just because he was a great researcher and a great scientist, but also the research culture that he created in the lab was so positive and so inclusive that inspired me. That if I did stay in research, that's what I wanted to emulate for the next generation and people that come in my group as well.
What challenges have you had to overcome?
My disability is a hidden disability. You wouldn't necessarily be able to tell that I was hard of hearing or deaf, especially if I'm relying on lip reading rather than using hearing aids or sign language. So often you can have people ask questions like, are you really deaf or how deaf? And that can sometimes be a little bit jarring and a challenge to overcome. But what I would say is these challenges can be overcome. They're not insurmountable. And if you want to do a STEM career, please go for it, and that support will be available.